Among the most common self deprecating thoughts that people have, especially before, well, very bad decisions that they might make, like self termination of life or committing to even more self harm through whatever destructive behaviors they might have. One of those most insidious quotes is that nobody will miss them should something bad happen to them. See, this is a very unhealthy quote, and it has roots in a lot of parts of your subconscious as well as experiences. There are a lot of experiences supporting that. But before committing to even more harm, ask yourself whether you are the one harming yourself. A lot of people you're probably surrounded by don't even care much about you. They probably don't even care about you, hence why you are so convinced of the fact that, nobody will actually miss you. In reality, nobody is needed to miss you, right? Because we don't owe anyone anything, and nobody owes us anything. This is a truth you have to always take into account. But since we are social beings, you have to understand that social existence means you'll have to provide to others, but at the same time, you'll also have to be provided. A lot of people, unfortunately, end up in the situation when they just provide. Nothing is provided back to them. So obviously, sooner or later, you will feel drained. You'll feel that if you die, or if something bad happens to you, or if you leave your so called friends, or the group of people you are around with that drains you the most, well, nobody will miss you. Well, it is true in a corporate world, nobody will miss you because they still believe that everyone is replaceable. But, AI is gonna be here, and it's gonna be here for a long time. And don't think that managers and the such will be enjoying their, you know, jobs for too long, and their passion to inflict pain upon others and to use their emotions to make others' life more miserable just because they themselves are pissed. Things will change dramatically in time. People will feel way more depressing, and well, many will unfortunately end up with so many psychological issues. And well, unfortunately, some will recall even to self termination. Because this is the nature of a sex society. It collapses itself back onto its denizens, and whoever cannot adapt, well, unfortunately, they will pay the price of having joined it in the first place. When it comes to people and the such, you will probably, or you've probably been the one to simply provide. Instead of looking at you as being a provider as a weakness, why not look at it as a strength? Because people who are provided, they usually suck. They don't have emotional maturity. They don't have a maturity of any kind, usually. They just take, just like narcissists do. If you live from their life, well, most likely they will pretend that they don't care about you. Most likely they will have some slight awakening that all the benefits they had with you are gone. But the most important point is do not worry, do not struggle to let them get back into your life. First and foremost, allow yourself to experience a life without those people. Find something that you really love and invest the time doing that. In order to become good at something, you need to spend thousands of hours in order to perfect yourself, to become way better. And a lot of times you give up on that and your dreams just because you want to fill other people's cups. But those cups don't have any bottom, so they will never get filled in the first place. So if you're surrounded by toxic people, adjust yourself emotionally to them. Become strong because people who piss you off, people who lie to you, people who deceive you, they'll always do the same shit regardless. Yes, they might use different fancy words, different this and that. Most likely at school or, especially at work, you can get bullied, you can get laughed at. It doesn't even matter much. In the end, it's just some bozos laughing, but that laughter is just their misery. Because once you show them that it no longer affects you, it's no longer going to be of any importance. And you don't need to do that by simply shutting yourself down. You can simply do that by focusing on your work instead of focusing on their drama. They're drama queens, drag queens, whatever you want to call them. They just want to see someone suffer. And if you no longer provide them with that pleasure, well, it is their problem, not yours in the first place. You have provided them enough pleasure. And ask yourself for once, how long ago has it been since they actually genuinely laughed? Because being miserable and making other miserable is not a genuine laughter. They're not genuinely laughter. They're just cackling at their own misery. They're just embracing their own shittiness. Yes, that is no measure of happiness. If that feels like a happiness to them, then why the fuck are they still in your life? First and foremost, ask yourself, why is it that you feel that you do not belong? Ask yourself, why is it that you feel that nobody will miss you should you do anything stupid with your life? Yes, like more self harm and such. First and foremost, you need to be surrounded by real people, not toxic people, if you want to have a good opinion about yourself. You're never gonna have a good opinion about yourself if you are surrounded by idiots, by narcissistic people, or people with such features. Yes, because not everyone is a narcissist, but many people have narcissistic features. Yes, those are numerous, and obviously, it doesn't make you a full fledged narcissist, but tendencies will always exist in a sick society. And well, sociopathic, well, other such things as well. So ask yourself, why is it that you don't feel that you belong? Why is it that you feel that you are abandoned? Why do you feel that nobody will um, miss you? In a way, if you look at it, it is a liberating thing. Ask yourself one thing. Should an apocalyptic event trigger in one of, well, in the vicinity of your city, or even your city where you live, nobody will miss you means you're free from everyone. You can simply pack up your leaves and, follow your survival. Those people will drag themselves down, they will pull themselves down, they won't want the others to leave because, well, the only thing that they can think of about their life is to simply escape all the pain. And what can that mean? Well, they want to all die because, well, they forget that someday that will happen to them. But their misery, they invest so much time into it that they become, the idea of them craving death is like a hymn to them. So why would you waste your time with these people? Energy is contagious. Yes? Obviously, since those people can only think on such depressing things, like them wishing to pass away, obviously you will also pick on that energy and you will feel that you are not liked. You will feel that you're not needed, that you're not wanted, that you're not appreciated, and that nobody will miss you. Because in the end, they don't miss their own life. Yes? How about asking yourself the question, is it their emotions that you're actually feeling? Yes, and you're more sensitive than just some drones that make fun of their existence until a certain age when they break, when they finally realize that they are also mortal and they are not immortal, and well, they start freaking out because they've never done anything with their life. And they would want to do something with their life, but they've invested most of their energy, most of their life into not doing anything, into self deprecation. So even if they fight against that, they're not going to fight the immense amount of energy they've put into that, the immense amount of memory that they have imprinted in their body. That is going to be their worst enemy that they'll have to fight against. 2026 and on are going to be a few years of depression, and they are going to be years of people finally discovering themselves, of people opening back businesses with, cafes and things like that, where people will start listening to more genuine music, where people will go out and hang out with some of their real friends that they will find. Yes, these will be years when people start rediscovering themselves, when they will start embracing probably the gym, but no longer just to show off or to hook up on some hot guys or hot girls, right? A lot of people will still do that because they crave attention. Do not worry yourself. Do not bother yourself with the trash. Because the trash, you bother your life from time to time with throwing the trash out of your house, but you're still keeping the human trash in there. When you are the provider, you have the power because you're the one who can give. If you can give to that person but they don't care about you, why not simply leave? Yes? Why not simply leave and let them live their own trash, shitty life and simply go find someone else? Why not finally start providing for yourself? You can make a much better life without having someone to pull you down. Especially since everything in this world feels chaotic and apocalyptical. If something bad happens, survival is much easier alone. then rather than being surrounded with all sorts of noisy people that will always oppose whatever you feel that you have to do. It's much easier to survive in terms of your own self, your own potential, your own talents, right? And when it comes to life, don't bother yourself with the misery of other people. You're most likely suffering their drama because you've been living too close to them. You have to allow living a life in which you simply experience things the way you would want, in which you finally have so much time to do your own things and to handle certain things and to rest. And that, I assure you, is gonna feel daunting as heck. It's gonna feel so fucking frightening. You're gonna want to go back to your shitty friends or shitty groups of people. If everyone in there is doing the same thing or functioning in the same way, you're living in a cage, my guy or girl. You're definitely not living in a healthy, surrounding or in a healthy environment, if you want to put it that way. So hopefully this video raised a bit of awareness. You are appreciated. Take care. Enjoy life. And this being said, Ferenc Board signing out.